Social television gives an advertiser, a creative agency, a media agency, an opportunity to embed user-generated content into the traditional 30-second spot. So we had some conversations with a large restaurant chain. They typically make one ad and they push that out to 200 stations. It's the same ad. With user-generated content, they wanted to get people eating their favorite dish, a picture of people eating their favorite dish. And when they took all those photos in, they found they had 300 spots instead of one spot that they then need to manage through the traditional channels. So what we're doing at Mediocean, Andy, is making sure our agencies are ready for a tsunami of content from social TV, from user-generated advertising, and they're able to push that through the system. Today it's very manual. Today people are making media buys in Mediocean, and then they're pulling the data out and they're emailing it to somebody else who keys it into another system, who emails it to somebody else, and it goes on. So it's very labor intensive, very time consuming, and it's disconnected and fragmented. So what we've been doing on the buying side with programmatic and connecting platforms, so data flows, we're going to do that with Optica on the programmatic side of ad delivery, traffic instructions, and feedback from broadcasters, so that when you have a social media campaign and you end up with 300 different ads, all with different images in them, you can manage that at scale without having to hire an army of people to do all of this manual effort.
So Mike, so tell us a little bit about where that media will show up. Is it in the local spots? Is it network? And what could be the roadmap, do you think?
Yeah, this was definitely a local play. It's almost like a direct response television. So in the days of DR, where advertisers would put a telephone number of the local store to call, and they'd monitor ROI based on which phone number got called. Social television, if you start putting images of people that are in New York with the Empire State Building at the back of them, then for those advertisers, for those consumers looking at those ads, they're going to feel a sense of locality to that. They're going to see this image could have been me. I'm in New York, and this social generated content is clearly in New York, and I could have been in that ad. My Instagram image could have been on that ad in the break of The Voice. And that's quite powerful for millennials. It's what they call the moment of fame. You know, they want to be in those ads. So it's a way for the advertisers and the creative agencies, media agencies, to generate a buzz around linear TV that hasn't been seen before.
What's the roadmap? I mean, what do you think, a couple of years, or is it, I mean, it's very early days, right?
Well, it's happening in Europe now. You know, I mentioned an example that we've seen where before the show started, an advertiser, Intel, asked people to submit photos and wishing people Merry Christmas. And they then promised in the next break, which was 15 minutes later, you'll see your image in the next break on national television. That happened in the UK. And so it's happening now, it's just not happening at scale. And I think in the US, just because of the pure size of the the UK is a small marketplace. You know, Norway is a small marketplace, small amount of broadcasters. But in the US, a huge amount of broadcasters, you know, so there's a scale issue. And again, that's where Mediocean, we need to make sure the agencies that we serve are ready to manage that scale.